Hello. Today's demo is going to be of datadog, a SaaS platform for monitoring infrastructure, application, logs, and additional resources. Some major benefits of using datadog include that teams can collaborate easily without finger pointing, troubleshoot quickly without jumping between different monitoring platforms, and iterate on their applications faster with the reduction in mean time to resolution during outages. Visualizations such as the one that we're looking at are useful for troubleshooting application and infrastructure related issues by bringing all pillars of observation, service level objectives, performance monitoring, infrastructure monitoring, logs, and things such as tests and network monitoring all together in a single pane of glass. These dashboards are easy to create and reduce the time to troubleshoot with everything being in one place. Datadog has over 700 integrations, which you can see here. These integrations include all cloud providers, databases, communication tools, and other technologies, all of which come with their dashboard similar to what I showed you out the box, providing that day one value. So with Datadog, you can use these integrations to get additional visibility into specific technologies. And the really great part is that it future-proofs your technology stack. So should you want to add any technologies that you've never used before, there's a high likelihood that there's an integration that exists for it already. Just include the integration and you'll immediately be able to gather data on the integration itself, as well as get that out the box dashboard. You also have something like your host maps. So here we are looking at the host map view, which includes hosts and containers. We're going to, both of which are a top-down view or bird's eye view of your infrastructure. It's color-coded based on the metric that you're consuming. In this case, it's CPU utilization, as you can see up here in the global filter. We can change that to something such as, say, RSS memory. Let's adjust this to containers, and then look this up by RSS memory. So you can see here by memory, we're taking a look at, you can see some different hotspots, and you can filter, slice, and dice this information in ways that you see fit. So whether it's you're looking at the different availability zones, if you want to look at teams, you can see the different teams. Since we're working with container technology, there's something like a short image so you can see exactly what that team is doing. And that way we can start to hone in on a problem with a better bird's eye view based on how this information and these metrics are aggregated. So again, this is a top-down bird's eye view of your infrastructure, allowing you to slice and dice the information that your infrastructure is taking in based on metrics, with including a visualization. You can click on these as well to open up things like an individualized host map, or excuse me, an individualized host dashboard. Areas that we'll get into in another time, but this is great for just viewing in general the health of your infrastructure. From here, we can take another jump over to the application layer, looking at the service map, and you'll start to see a common theme, which is anywhere you go, you'll be able to spawn the view into related technologies or related metrics from processes, from logging, and from traces. So again, we're going to jump into the application level layer here. What we're looking at is a service map, which will show your upstream and downstream dependencies, color-coded by the alerts that are attached to the various service. So if it's in red, then the alert likely is in a triggered state. And you can click on this and you'll start to see immediately the network traffic for up and downstream dependencies. This is great also for just discovering in general services that may not be documented as upstream and downstream dependencies, or for having new employees come in for training and they need a visualization to figure out what the scope is for their particular position. We can inspect this. And again, this is just another way to visualize the up and downstream dependencies from a given service. And we also can click on this and view the service information, which will give us a flyout here. And from here, I mentioned the common theme. We're able to view related traces, monitors, logs, processes, containers. So you get, again, that unified view of all of the important metrics in one place. We can click here and actually see the monitors that also come with this as well. So, and you can really start to drill down into this, but it's a great place to get that actual visualization of what's happening inside your system. Let's take a jump over to traces. So with application performance monitoring, you also get to ingest traces. We're looking at live traces that are coming in over the past 15 minutes. These traces are all identified by a trace ID that's injected through an APM installation. When you inject an APM installation, you will get something that looks like this, which is a flame graph. Let's actually try to drill down on our view here a little bit more. So on the left, you can see different facets. This is a way that you can quickly filter this information. No specific query language that you have to learn. You can do all of this with ClickOps, if you will. And let's just kind of poke at the web store here. So we're just looking at errors for the past 15 minutes. And these are all, and again, a big call out is that we're going to ingest all the traces. There's no limit on that. We can certainly work on what we index, but you will get no sampling from your traces. 100% of these will come in. So we'll do something like we'll click in here. We'll get the flame graph, which will show us the entirety of the trace, broken down by span. So the trace being the entire operation and the span being individual sub operations or tasks that are required to complete the entire request. So from here we can see again that commonality. We get our errors, we have our infrastructure metrics, logs, networking, and all of the SQL queries that are being made here. So we can pull this up here and we can see that where our error is coming from. And if we start mousing over the individual spans in the trace, we can see how long it took for each span to operate. So in this case, 552 milliseconds here. It tells you how much CPU time is utilized throughout the entirety of the process. So we're starting to step into the area or realm of profiling, which also comes with application performance monitoring. But to keep this high level, you will get the flame graph and the individual spans, which ties together entire distributed system into one view, so you can see exactly where the impacts are. Again, reducing that mean time to resolution. From here, let's jump over to logs. So here, Log Explorer, we can see the logs that have been indexed within the past 15 minutes. And one really huge call out with Datadog is their unified logging system. So you can ingest all of the logs from all of your distributed systems into one place, and you can be flexible in what you index. So with a lot of other solutions for logging, you are held captive to their pricing plans. Here we ingest everything, and then we determine very easily and flexibly that you can do this through the UI, which logs you decide that you want to keep and index for the past 15 minutes, and longer. We can index for quite a bit out. But if we want to take a look at our live tail here, this is all of the logs coming in real time from everywhere. So again, this is a great place for you to reduce getting a new employee spun up. You don't have to learn a new query language. Say if you're using a third-party solution where you've got to learn a different query language to parse through all your logs. This is all in one place, no query language required. And you're able to start filtering through your logs. So we'll go back to the index. I showed this off a little bit with the traces, but if you do something where we're just clicking on the errors, and let's say we want to see errors from the email service, or even let's just say web service here. We got the web store. Let's click on that one instead. We can see all of the errors coming in, the log messages. Another great call out is the way that you visualize this to make parsing all this information easier. So we can do something like our pattern view, where we'll take a look at all of the errors by patterns, and you can see it's greatly reduced the number of line items we're looking at, and you can see exactly what type of error you're looking for here. We can still click here and we'll get the individual line items for the errors themselves, which will help us call out exactly where this problem is coming from. So it's easy to aggregate all of your logs in one place. It's easy to parse through all of the logs. And these can all, in this particular case, because we have APM, the trace ID has been injected into this request. So now we're looking at the actual trace ID, the logs tied to a given trace ID, which you can see up here in all of the tags that are attached to this particular log item. So logging also is very simple and easy with Datadog. And once you've gone through logging, you likely will want to be notified of an error. So in that particular case, you're going to want to create a new monitor. So the big call-outs here, you have what you would expect out of a monitoring system. With your threshold monitors, like a change or delta monitors. But some of the things that we would probably really want to call out are monitors such as your anomaly monitor, which is a little bit more advanced. It detects if something is behaving differently based on the ingested information of past performance. You also have things like your forecast monitor, which will automatically predict future behavior based on current trends. Say, for instance, disk space, if you're trying to get ahead of when when a resource might run out of disk space, you can project how long it will take for that to happen based on how quickly you're filling up your disk current state. Or something like an outlier monitor, which will group all similar things, let's say container, call your containers, and then it'll point out if one of those containers is acting completely differently. So we can aggregate all that information in one place, an alert, whether it's sending the alert notifications to PagerDuty, to Teams. There's integrations for all of these things, emails. We obviously want to avoid alert fatigue, but this is a way for you to be notified if any of the information and metrics that we're gathering are of interest to you, or that you want to make sure stay in place. Thank you very much.